In the previous video, we have discussed the increasing function and strictly increasing function. Now we see the decreasing function. A function fx is said to be decreasing on interval I if for all x1 x2 belongs to I. If for all x1 x2 belongs to a given interval, for x2 is greater than x1, for x2 is greater than x1, fx2 is less than equals to fx1. This is the condition for decreasing function. For x2 is greater than x1 implies fx2 is less than fx1, and the graph of decreasing function is this is the graph of decreasing function. Now try to understand how it is decreasing function. Suppose take any 2 points A and B on the graph and draw a perpendicular from A and B to x-axis, negative x-axis and positive y-axis. Let this is x1 and this is x2. x1, x2 and this is fx1 and this is fx2. So x2 is greater than x1, x2 is greater than x1, x2 is greater than x1. For x2 is greater than x1, fx2 is less than fx1. fx2 is less than fx1. For x2, here the value of x2 is greater than the value of x1, but the value of fx2 is less than fx1. So this satisfies the condition. And when we talk about this region, so let us take 2 points A and B in this region. So x1, x2, but the value of fx1 and fx2 are equal. fx2 is equals to fx1. So x2 is greater than x1 and fx2 is equals to fx1. So this is the condition for equality. So this is the graph of decreasing function, and the definition of the decreasing function is for x1, x2 belongs to the interval, and if x2 is greater than x1, this implies fx2 is less than equals to fx1. And for a strictly decreasing function, so a function fx is said to be a strictly decreasing on interval I if for all x1, x2 belongs to I. x2 for x2 is greater than x1. fx2 is less than fx1. Equality sign gets removed and the graph of this function is x1. The graph of this function, let us take any 2 points A and B from the graph and draw a perpendicular. If this is x1, this is x2, then this will be fx1 and this will be fx2. So it is clear that the value of x2 is greater than x1, but the value of fx2 is less than fx1. So this is the graph of a strictly decreasing function. So this completes the theory part. This completes the theory part. One other concept of first derivative for finding the increasing and decreasing function. The first derivative method for finding the increasing and decreasing. If for y equals to fx, if f dash x is greater than 0, this implies the function is increasing. The function is increasing. And if f dash x is less than 0, f dash x means derivative of y, dy by dx. This implies the function is decreasing. So if f dash x is greater than 0, the function is increasing. If f dash x is less than 0, then the function is decreasing. This is called derivative test for finding the increasing and decreasing function. Let us come to exercise 6.2. NCERT exercise 6.2, and the first question is, show that the function fx equals to, show that the function fx equals to 3x plus 17 is increasing on R. R means real number. We have to show that this function is increasing on R, means on real number. So let us see. And we have studied that if x2 is greater than x1, this implies fx2 is greater than fx1. This is the condition for increasing function. And we can write this expression in this way also. If x1 is less than x2, this implies fx1 is less than fx2. Both are same thing. If x2 is greater than x1, implies fx2 is greater than fx1. And if x1 is less than x2, this implies fx1 is less than fx2. So both are the same condition, and these two are the conditions for. These are two are the conditions for finding the function is increasing, for increasing function. If x2 is greater than x1, implies fx2 is greater than fx1. If x1 is less than x2, implies fx1 is less than fx2. So let us see how to solve this question. Let x1, x2 belongs to R. A real number. x1, x2 belongs to R. And let x1 is less than x2. Let x1 is less than x2. Then multiply both sides by 3. Multiply both sides by 3. So we get 3x1 is less than 3x2. Now add 17 both sides. Add 17 both sides. So we get 3x1 plus 17 is less than 3x2 plus 17, and 3x1 plus 17 is written as f of x1, and 3x2 plus 17 is written as f of x2. So this satisfies this condition. If x1 is less than x2, this implies fx1 is less than fx2. The value of fx1 will be 3x1 plus 17, and the value of fx2 will be 3x2 plus 17. So for x1 is less than x2, fx1 is also less than fx2. It means it is a increasing function. The function is, this implies the function is increasing. The function is increasing. Why the function is increasing? Because we have proved this condition. We have taken x1 is less than x2, and we have proved that fx1 is less than fx2. So this is the condition for increasing function. Second question, show that the function fx equals to e raised to the power 2x. Show that fx equals to e raised to the power 2x is an increasing function. Is an increasing function in R. We will solve this question by first derivative method. Fx is given e raised to the power 2x. Find f dash x, derivative of the function. So differentiation of e raised to the power 2x is e raised to the power 2x. Drop e, differentiation of 2x is 2. So the value of f dash x is always greater than 0. No matter whether the value of x is positive or negative. If x is negative, then e raised to the power negative would written as, suppose the value of x is -2. So it becomes f dash x equals to 2 into e raised to the power -4, and e raised to the power -4 is written as 2 upon e raised to the power 4. So it gives the positive value which is greater than 0. So f dash x is greater than 0. This implies function is increasing. Function is increasing on real number R. Question number 3. Show that the function given by fx equals to sin x. Show that the function given by fx equals to sin x. The function fx equals to sin x is increasing in 0 to pi by 2 is a part, increasing in open interval 0 to pi by 2. This is the sign of open interval. Increasing in open interval 0 to pi by 2. B part, decreasing in open interval pi by 2 to pi. And C part, neither increasing nor decreasing, neither increasing nor decreasing in 0 to pi, neither increasing nor decreasing in open interval 0 to pi. So let us see how to solve. We have given the function f(x) is equals to sin x. The function is given f(x) equals to sin x. Firstly, differentiate with respect to x. So f dash x is equals to cos x. F dash x equals to cos x. Now for a part, interval is given 0 to pi by 2, means 0 is less than x is less than pi by 2. The value of x lies in the interval 0 to pi by 2, where 0 and pi by 2 are excluded because there is open interval. There is open interval, so 0 and pi by 2 is excluded. And we know this is the interval belongs to first quadrant. This interval belongs to first quadrant. First quadrant lies from 0 to pi by 2, and we know that in first quadrant the value of cos x is greater than 0, because in first quadrant all the trigonometric ratios are positive. It means cos x is greater than 0. If cos x is greater than 0, it means f dash x is greater than 0. So the first part is proof. If f dash x is greater than 0, this implies function is increasing. Function is increasing in 0 to pi by 2. Now for the second part, we have given the interval pi by 2 to pi, means pi by 2 is less than x, is less than pi. The value of x lies between pi by 2 to pi, and this interval belongs to second quadrant. This interval belongs to second quadrant, and we know that in second quadrant the value of cos x is negative. In second quadrant sin and cos x is positive, and the rest of the trigonometric ratios are negative. So it means cos x is less than 0, because x lies in the interval containing second quadrant. So if cos x is less than 0, this implies f dash x is less than 0. And if f dash x is less than 0, this implies the function is decreasing. The function is decreasing in interval y by 2 to y. Now the third part, from 0 to pi. It means 0 is less than x is less than pi. From 0 to pi, x belongs from 0 to pi. It means the first quadrant plus second quadrant. X belongs to first quadrant plus second quadrant. X quadrant and second quadrant. And we know that in first quadrant cos x is greater than 0. In second quadrant cos x is less than 0. So overall from 0 to pi, it is neither increasing nor decreasing. In half of the interval, means from 0 to pi by 2, from 0 to pi by 2 means half interval. When x belongs to 0 to pi by 2, the function is increasing. The function is increasing. And in the next half interval, means from pi by 2 to pi, means it comes second quadrant, and the function is decreasing. So separately in both the intervals, the function is increasing and decreasing. But when we talk about for all from 0 to pi, so from 0 to pi, the function is neither increasing nor decreasing. So the function is neither increasing nor decreasing in interval 0 to pi. So this completes the question. The next question, question number 4. This is one of the most important questions. Such type of questions be asked usually in board examinations. Find the intervals. Find the intervals whether the function is increasing or decreasing. The fourth question is find the intervals in which the function is given by. Find the intervals. Find the intervals in which the function is given by. We have to find the intervals in which the function is given by fx equals to 2x square minus 3x. Fx equals to 2x square minus 3x. H increasing and decreasing. H increasing and second part decreasing. So, what is the method for finding the interval? This concept we would try to understand by the question. If we have to find the intervals in any one of the question, if there is given that find the intervals in which the function is increasing and decreasing. So firstly, we write the function fx equals to 2x square minus 3x, and then we differentiate it. We will find f dash x. So f dash x equals to 4x minus 3. Then make the function, make the derivatives equals to 0. F dash x equals to 0, make it f dash x equals to 0. It means 4x minus 3 equals to 0. It gives 4x equals to 3 and x equals to 3 by 4. 3 by 4 means 0.75. 0.75. So we get the value of x equals to 3 by 4. So what we have to do if we are given to find the interval? Firstly, we have to write the function, then we have to differentiate, means we have to find dy by dx or f dash x. Then in third step, we have to make it equals to 0, f dash x equals to 0, then find the value of x. Then we have to draw this number on a number line. We know the number line for real is, it lies from minus infinity to plus infinity. For real number, it lies from minus infinity to infinity. And the value of 3 by 4 written anywhere between minus infinity to plus infinity. Now divide the interval in a segment. So the interval comes to be from minus infinity to 3 by 4 and the second interval from 3 by 4 to infinity. We get the two intervals, minus infinity to 3 by 4 and 3 by 4 to infinity. Now take both the cases one by one. So for interval minus infinity to 3 by 4, take any value lies between minus infinity to 3 by 4. We have to take any value lies between minus infinity to 3 by 4. The value lies between minus infinity to 3 by 4. You can take x equals to 0. Also you can take x equals to 0.5. So let us take x equals to 0. Take x equals to 0 and 0 lies between minus infinity to 3 by 4. Now put the value of x in the expression f dash x. So f dash x is 4x minus 3. Find f dash 0. So put the value of x at 0. So 4 into 0, 0, we get minus 3. Since f dash 0 comes to be minus 3, which is less than 0. If this is less than 0, it means the function is decreasing. The function is decreasing on interval minus infinity to 3 by 4. Now take another interval for 3 by 4 to infinity. 3 by 4 means 0.75. Now we have to select any value of x which lies between 3 by 4 to infinity. So let us take the value x equals to 1. X equals to 1 lies between 3 by 4 to infinity, and put the value of x equals to 1 in the expression f dash x. So f dash x is 4x minus 3. Find f dash 1. So we get 4 minus 3, which is 1, and 1 is greater than 0. This implies the function is increasing on interval 3 by 4 to infinity. the function is increasing on interval 3/4 to infinity, and in the very last what we have to do, so you have to make a table. You have to make a table to write the final answer, and on table we have to make 3 columns. In first column we have to write interval, then sign of f dash. In first column we have to write down interval, then sign of f dash x, then nature of function. Nature of function. So write down the intervals. We have 2 intervals from -infinity to 3/4, and the sign of the function f dash x in this interval is less than, the sign is less than 0, and the nature of the function is decreasing. The next interval is 3/4 to infinity, and the sign of the function is greater than 0, and the nature is increasing. So in every question where you have to find the interval, it is must to draw the table. So in finding the intervals, the function is given. You will find f dash x, makes f dash x equals to 0, find the value of x equals to 3/4, and represent the value of 3/4 on a number line. Number line for real number lies from -infinity to infinity, plus infinity, and this is 3/4. So 2 intervals came, -infinity to 3/4 and 3/4 to infinity. We take for -infinity to 3/4 and take the value lies between -infinity to 3/4, and we have taken x equals to 0. You can take another value also, and finding f dash 0 we get less than 0, and for 3/4 to infinity we have taken the value lies between them, x equals to 1, then we have calculated f dash 1 which is greater than 0, and in the very last you have to make the table. So the rest of the questions we will discuss in the next video.